All right, today I want to show you how to prepare a new planting bed in your yard and without having to do a lot of digging and hard work to prepare it. First thing I'm going to do, this is a can of marking paint. It's actually inverted spray paint. Unlike most spray paint, the only way that this will paint is when it's turned upside down. It's made for painting lines on the ground. So basically I'm just going to mark out an area here, roughly where I want to put my new bed. About like that. That way I don't get lost in the shuffle here. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some newspaper and I'm going to lay newspaper down 9 layers thick, or at least 9 layers thick. It doesn't, you know, it's not that critical. That's just about 9 layers. So basically, I'm going to take this newspaper, I'm going to lay it down in here like this. Overlap it a little bit. Get another section. Just about like that. And then, this is, put this on there before I lose my newspaper. This is window screen, nylon or fiberglass window screen. You can also use the weed barrier cloth that you can buy at the gardening stores. I don't particularly like weed barrier cloth to keep weeds out, and when you put it underneath the mulch and stuff. But for this particular, for making a new bed, it'll actually work pretty good. So I'm going to line up my newspaper, and then I'm going to take this nylon string, I'm going to lay it down there just where I want it. I'm going to throw some more newspaper down here, about like that. Doing this on a windy day. Now you can weight this down with rocks or soil, mulch, just about anything you want. But basically you're going to roll this screen out like this, and then you're going to put weights on there. I happen to have these great big 4x6 boards laying around here, so that's why I'm using them. And basically what I'm doing, and I'll put another one up here, and you can use all kinds of anything to weight it down. I got a little bit of a space here. I need to get back underneath of there and adjust that. But what you do is put down at least 9 layers of newspaper, and then put that plastic screen on top of there. And then you're going to want, I'm going to slide this right underneath of there where I got that space. That'll take care of that. And I'll take some more screen and I'll put it along this side, and then I'll put more weight over here like that. Basically, that's all you have to do. And you can leave that just like that. If you did this like right now in the fall, you can leave that all winter long, and then come spring you're going to come and take your weight off of there. You're going to roll up this screen. You can actually reuse this. Excuse me. The newspaper will be all rotted and matted down. Now you can also place a little bit of mulch on top of here to really hold that down. It's because you don't want any grass or anything growing underneath of there. But what you're going to do is you're going to cut out all the light, so that the grass or whatever underneath there you're trying to kill is going to die back. And then when you pick all this up in the spring, you're going to have a dead spot. It's pretty much, you can just spade it up a little bit, or if you got a little rototiller, till it up. But basically that works really, really well for weed control. Now when you go to plant the bed, you don't want to put this stuff in there or any kind of a weed barrier, because the roots from the weeds tend to grow right through it. They grow on top of it. But the newspaper or even cardboard is a great idea. Put the newspaper down and then put mulch on top of that. Put cardboard down, put mulch on top of that. If you're going to put soil in the bed, put the soil in first, then the 9 layers of newspaper, then the mulch. You don't want to put the soil on top of the newspaper because the soil is going to have weed seeds in it. You want to separate the weed seeds from the mulch. But this works really good is the newspaper, laying it down. Use a screen or weed barrier cloth to hold it down and let the moisture get in. That's why you use something that's porous like this. Let the moisture get in. Ideally, what I'd like to do is take a bag of hardwood mulch or any kind of mulch or even soil conditioner, open it up and just pour it on here like that, and then cover that newspaper, because that'll really hold the newspaper down, cut out all the sunlight, completely kill what's underneath of there. And then when I take all this up in a month or two, I've got a great place to plant in, and I didn't have to do a lot of digging. I got rid of all the grass roots and everything else that's in there. So this is very effective, and it's relatively easy. You don't have to have big clunker boards like this. Bricks work great. The other thing is, if you cut the grass really short before you start, then the paper will lay down a little bit better. But I still suggest putting some mulch over top of this right here. But basically, that's an easy way to create a planting bed. It's a good way to keep the weeds out if you have plants in there. I mean, if you planted this with a few flowering shrubs or perennials, you could put the newspaper right back in, mulch over the top of that, and have a garden that's going to be relatively weed free for the entire season. The newspaper is going to rot away, and that's the beauty of it, is that it actually is going to add to the soil, not take away from the soil. So that's why we like to use newspaper. I'm Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com.